I've always said personality is probably one of the most. I mean, Chael got into a bunch of fights that he didn't deserve to be in.
Yeah.
What
do you mean? Chael's never lost.
Yeah,
Bro.
never lost.
That's
Colby
Uncle Chael's the greatest fighter to ever live on this
Colby
planet.
was in a bunch of fights that he didn't.
He's the one that broke Jon Jones' toe. You know that, right?
On his face, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
On getting taken down.
Yeah. But who are some of the other big personalities in the sport?
I mean, right now it's Nina.
Nina.
Nina's definitely. Sean Strickland's one of the personalities of the sport.
So Nina is an interesting one. I actually don't really like her. I mean, she's kind of annoying to me. But maybe it's because I'm like, why does she get to be a personality in this world?
Maybe because you're a bigot. And
Yeah.
you hate women.
Yeah, that might be. It's a very strong possibility. You seen all those videos of like her like grinding on Alex Behena and her husband's just like right next to her, like
Yeah. But honestly, off camera, she's a really cool person. Her husband was really cool, and like.
Oh, they came up to the pit or what?
Yeah, they came out to the pit when Sean and Alex were all up in town, and like I've got to like sit and like actually see off camera and like watch her, and so like I get what she's doing. You know what I mean? Like she's not trying to be like an interviewer. She's not trying to be. She just wants to be a personality, and like to me, I think it's a necessary. That's why the UFC does it. Like. They need personalities, like just like we've been watching Corey Sandhagen. Have you been seeing his evolution?
I saw Corey. Did you see that Aljo was in the airport with Henry, and then Sandhagen was in the same airport?
Yeah, that was so random. But Corey's now like he has like this on-running joke on Instagram where he like hired a guy that's like teaches him how to be cool, and he's like sitting there like this, and he's like, "Open your mouth, hanging it more," and then he's like. Then Corey's like, man, I feel like I look like an idiot. And the guy's like, you are. That's why you need me to tell you how to look cool. And it's like pretty funny. And you're like, so I think that's what Nina kind of does for some fighters is like,
well, it's like,
and honestly though, Sean Strickland owes a lot to Nina.
Well, even like it's like when we've had every time we have big fighters on our show, they get to be a lot more human because we're just two dudes.
Yeah, and we're just chatting, and then like once we start making fun of them, then it's so funny because you've noticed it like. When the camera turns on, they turn into this like their personality completely changes. My favorite's like Glover, like on the show when I asked him if he shit at his gym, he's like, "Do I shit at the gym?" Like offended. Then the cameras turn off. He's like, "Oh yeah, I tell the guys don't shit at my gym," and like laughing about it. And I was like, "Bro, do that on camera." But it's everyone's not a sociopath like us.
I wonder why. I mean, that's got to be a tough part. I mean, you were got some media attention while you were in the UFC. But to live your life knowing that saying the wrong thing could change we could say whatever, honestly. I mean, as long as we don't say something egregious and cancelable, and our day just goes on. But their whole life and paycheck is based on what they say.
Well, and that's one of the best parts about The Ultimate Fighter. Like when you go through The Ultimate Fighter, like I was 22, like literally I was a child. They put you in this Ultimate Fighter, and then like every day you're doing interviews, and like I hate to ruin the sausage, but there's no such thing as reality TV. It's this created scenario, and the only real part is like people's reactions. Everything in it's fake. Like they steal your stuff, and they hide it in other people's stuff, so then create riot. You know what I mean? And it's like this whole like. And if there's a chance to create drama, they'll change everything around to create drama. So like the second time, you really learn. Like what you say matters, and like because if you say the wrong word, then all of a sudden now they're like drama, like let's run with it. So I think like being on Tough taught me a lot of that, and you see that, like you see like it's like Michael Chiesa, I wouldn't say he's necessarily a big personality, right? But since he was on The Ultimate Fighter, he's learned how to speak, and now he's got like a TV job. He talks, he's an analyst, and he's not like this giant personality, but he can talk on camera.
His fight career is really skyrocketing.
Yeah. Well, he's fighting our boy.
Young up-and-comer.
He's
bone
fighting.
crusher.
Yeah, the Court McGee. Him and Court are going at it.
With Chiesa.
Yeah. That's a good fight, bro. I like when they do that, though. Like, put a couple, like...
Old dogs
that we've loved watching together. You know what I mean? Like, don't put an old dog versus a young dog. Like, I hate seeing that. Like, you watch that shit, and you're like, oh, man.
Yeah, somebody's getting sacrificed.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's Nina. What's your thoughts on Schmo?
On the Schmo, I mean...
I've told you, I've had the most uncomfortable scenario in my life. I was with Henry at that PFL, and I guess Schmo had done him dirty or something. And so they start getting into it, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to step over here. And Henry's like, no, stay here. You should hear this.
Really?
I was like, I don't want to hear this.
What were they arguing about?
Because I think they'd shot a show together. They had a podcast together or something.
Yeah.
And then, like, some guy was talking shit to Henry, and then the schmo sided with him.
Oh, really?
And so Henry was like, I guess screw you then, because he was wrong or what. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Henry made me sit there and listen to him just like,
Argue.
and Schmo like, I'm really sorry. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be here with this. This is so uncomfortable.
No, listen.
You want me to see what it would look like to
I feel like I would do the other way, though. If one of these fighters came up and said some shit like that to me, I'd be like, do something about it, bitch.
Well, you would maybe say that to Henry. You wouldn't say that to who's a big boy?
Any of them, right? He's scared of
Who's that?
heavyweights.
Jon Jones, you liar.
Yeah, I'd be like, do something.
Speaking of Jon Jones, is he supposed to
I'd
get
be like,
stripped?
oh, I'm suing you.
Is he supposed to get stripped, you think, or what?
Bro, he should be stripped at this point.
I don't
Don't
know.
you think, man? It's kind of like...
The thing is, every fighting promotion is better when their heavyweights are big.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder, Gypsy King, all these guys being big in the sport.
That's what
made
people
boxing
love
better.
about Aspinall is he's a fucking giant of dude, you know?
So
And
the
fast.
heavyweight division is slow. It's dead.
Yeah. And John's kind of not doing it any favors,
He
bro.
doesn't want to. I don't
Yeah,
think.
and like I get where like the company's like, well, the Tom Aspinall Jon Jones fight would be such a big payday. Put it in New York, you know what I mean? Be like,
Didn't he ask for like $30 million?
which I mean, dude, like at what point do you think he deserves that kind of money? How can these boxers get it? And he's literally a bigger name than any boxer right now.
Yeah, but isn't it how the money flows? The thing is, they got to pay everybody else on the card.
Yeah, but they're still not paying everyone else. Come on, like that's their excuse. They're like, oh, we got to pay everyone else the 10 and 10 and the 20 and 20.
But you got to think too, like it's like in the NFL. Every year, a quarterback gets the largest contract in history.
And that's what I'm saying. I think it's time that Jon Jones starts getting. He needs a long.
But what I'm saying is, if he gets a big contract, well, then after that, they're gonna have to pay a bigger contract.
Oh yeah. That's why they're trying to stop it.
Yeah,
but
they're trying to stop.